everyone, this is Nikki Rowland and today I have a layout to share for Simple Stories using the very lovely Tis the Season, which is a simple vintage. So it's actually simple vintage Tis the Season. So this collection is very vintage, and I have pulled out some of my favourite papers from the collection. I've also got a square photo, so it was about 6 inches square, but I've trimmed it down a bit. And I'm going for a quadrant design on this layout so that I can show off some of the really lovely pattern papers. I have got my photo. It's going to go bottom right. I've pulled out the red one. I've pulled out that beautiful floral and this lovely one with the big red flowers on as well. So I have trimmed them all down and I am going to distress the edges of all of those and stick them into this quadrant design. Now, I wasn't happy that my photo didn't have a border, so I'm going to sort that out. I'm going to have to trim my photo a little bit more to put a very narrow white border on it and then add that to the green crosshatch quadrant in the bottom right as well. So you won't see very much of that green because it's going to just be a very narrow border, but I just felt that the photo really benefited from having that white border on it. So I had to do that myself because my photo didn't come with a border. Getting there. So this, all of those are now stuck down. Those 4 quadrants are now stuck down. And then it's just a case of embellishing. So I've added the word ho, ho, ho at the very bottom of the layout. I wanted to use that because that's one of the foam stickers. And obviously my photo has Santa in it. So that was obviously ideal. I love all the really big chipboard clusters. They're very beautiful. They're mostly floral and gorgeous. So I have put one of the big florals, it's a chipboard cluster by the way, against that lovely red square top right. And then I've added the word joy, which is also from the foam stickers. I've added that on top of the chipboard cluster. So that just gives some good little textures going on there. Bottom left quadrant, I'm using, I've got the big red flower and then I've pulled out some of the big red flower floral ephemera. I've also added some white flowers underneath the chipboard cluster as well. When I do a quadrant layout like this, or a layout where I've got some divided sections, I tend to make sure that my embellishments go across some of the borders as well, to make it all flow together better, not to have 4 separate layouts on the page effectively, but to have some linkage between them. As I went to stick this big chipboard cluster in place, I realised that trying to stick it flat to the layout wasn't going to work because chipboard doesn't have any flex. So sometimes when the cardstock layout bends, the chipboard pieces fall off. So I normally attach them with foam, and I just happily adding away all my glue and then realised, oh no, I need to put this on with foam. So I just quickly rubbed off some glue and put some foam squares in place to hold that in place, and now that won't fall off, so that's good. So I've added the and sign onto the red florals. It's a family photo, so therefore the and sign works really, really well. Just adding a few stars and a few word stickers from the 12 by 12 cardstock sticker sheets. I always love using the words from the cardstock stickers. They've always got great words on them. Just distressing the edges of all of those and raising them up on foam pads. This layout is very busy. The background is extremely busy with the big florals. Even the plain red quadrant is very busy because I put a massive floral on it. Perhaps I should have left that one clear to give the layout a bit of breathing space, but I didn't. Hindsight's a good thing, hey? It was good to give those phrase stickers a bit of separation. So I have distressed the edges and I've also raised them up on foam pads. This works really well to bring them up, raise them away from the busy background so that they still show up and they are still readable. So that's what I am doing there, just getting all of those stuck in place. Now, I've got a couple more as well that I'm going to mirror down here in the bottom left quadrant. I've got more, so 3 at the top and now 3 at the bottom. So that just kind of mirrors. I tend to, when I do my clusters, I tend to like to repeat my elements in the different areas. So I've got the 3 phrase stickers at the top cluster, and I've now got 3 phrase stickers in the bottom cluster as well. So yeah, it's all coming together, just adding some of those beautiful decorative brads, which are lovely. I always enjoy using the decorative brads. They are a different texture to all the paper layers and the ephemera, which are also paper. And they have a shine on them too. So it's always nice, and some metal. So it's always nice to use them. They definitely bring something different to the layouts. Coming in with a few more bits of foam. I love all of the little circular tiles or keys, whatever they are, with letters inside them. So I've just added DEC for December. And then I realised that I didn't really have anywhere to write my journaling. I could have gone with that lighter area underneath the word joy, but instead I decided to add this journaling ticket instead, so that I had a specific area to write my journaling on. So I'm just poking that in there, but of course that needs a bit more. It can't just be there by itself. It needs a bit of a cluster. So just finding a few bits to go with that now. So green bow and another ticket behind it. So just dressing the edges of all of those pieces and getting those stuck in place. Yeah, it's coming together okay. I'm happy with how that is looking. I need to put some foam pads behind the one that I'm going to write on, but I should really write my journaling first. Otherwise, it ends up all a bit wonky and bumpy because I'm... sorry for the view of the top of my head there. It's not great for you. So yeah, good tip. Do your journaling before you put foam pads underneath something if that's what you're going to do, because otherwise your writing can go a bit wonky. So there we go. I am doing that there and getting that stuck in place. There we go. Looking good. And I'm happy with that little cluster up there. It kind of brings it all together. And I put the Christmas tree at the bottom right corner too. So yeah, it's pretty much finished now. I'm happy with how it's looking. I love all the patterns and all the big florals. They're pretty amazing. I'm just now going to add some splatters of black paint around some of my clusters. There we go. Lovely, all finished. I hope that you enjoyed seeing it come together. I enjoyed making it, and I love how it turned out. So thank you very much for joining me today. That was Nikki Rowland creating for Simple Stories using Simple Vintage. 'Tis the season.